Yesterday was quite something, wasn't it? I mean, wasn't expecting that. That was crazy. Crazy scenes at London Stadium. Fantastic game yesterday, and it's taken a bit of a while to sink it all in, really. I have to admit that I actually missed a little bit of the first half because I was on a bus and didn't have very good connection using my 3G. I had my there's a guy with his headphones on dancing right next to me. I do apologise. I lost my track of thought now. Yeah, yesterday was just great. Like I say, I was trying to watch the game on a bus, and then I went to a cafe in Vancouver to connect to their Wi-Fi to watch the rest of the game and make my notes on my laptop, which was, again, really, really good. And I'm glad I watched that second half, because if I hadn't watched the second half, I would have been kicking myself. I would have looked at the scoreline and I would have thought to myself, oh, why didn't I watch that? But I'm glad I did. Yesterday was just absolutely... The guy's still dancing over there. The game yesterday was absolutely fantastic from start to finish. First half, we needed to improve a little bit on our passing. We needed to be a bit more cognizant of what was going on in the game, but in the second half we really controlled it. We scored 3 goals in 8 minutes and killed off Gent. And up next is a trip to the other Low Country of the Netherlands to face Alkmaar in the semi-final. It's 2 years in a row we've got to the semi-final of a European competition. It's certainly something that's going to catch the eye of some transfer targets in the summer, I'd imagine, and seeing the club's progress there. And it's one step further to us getting a chance to qualify for Europe next season, because if we win the Conference League, as you know, we'll qualify for the Europa League. Without further ado, I'll get into the starting lineup, shall I? Changes were made. Alphonse Areola in goal, Sofal, Zuma, Agerd, Emerson in the defence, Rice, Souček, Paqueta, Benrahma, and then Bowen and Antonio. Fabianski on the bench, Cresswell, Lanzini also benched, Freddie Potts and Divan Mabama also put on the bench for this game. From what I could tell in the first half, the passing needed a little bit of work. Paqueta was struggling to connect with anybody, really, and we just seemed a little bit disjointed. And the word disjointed is commonly used to associate with our midfield, because there have been a lot of times where we can't pass it forwards. When we try to pass it backwards, we tend to have a little bit more success, but getting the momentum onto the ball, going back to front, it sometimes has a little bit of a problem with us. Zuma headed the ball over and was way off target. Worryingly enough, Sofal got into a clash of heads and it looked like he needed to be stretchered off, but he got back up and looked fine. I think because Sofal had an alright game, in all honesty. It wasn't his best, but nothing too terrible. Antonio was infuriating me because he couldn't run with the ball without losing it, and he got into the box and got dispossessed a few times. That Korean guy that plays again, Hong, he was really good at tracking back. He was really good at making things happen. Who knows, I might put him on scouting report over the summer. When 1-0 to Gent came, it was West Ham's fault, and it was Paqueta's fault. He gave the ball away so cheaply. Hong goes down, gets Gift Orban with the ball. Orban's put it across the goal, crossed it across the goal, it comes off Hugo Kuipers and into the net. Agerd looked like he handballed on the line, so I think by that own admission, he had to let the ball go into the net to avoid giving away a penalty and being sent off. And we don't need a red card at this stage, do we? I'm kind of gutted for Agerd, but at the same time, the defending leading up to that goal was unacceptable. You can't leave open space like that, and no one seemed to care. Areola just came out of his goal to give him space to cross it in. And by the way, I don't think Gift Orban's actually that great of a player. I don't care that he's tore it up in Norway and he's tearing it up in Belgium. That Kuipers guy seemed a lot better. I couldn't believe it, really. The passing was still very poor, but when the equaliser came, I had a feeling that the cross was going to meet someone's head. Bowen whips it in from quite a close range free kick. Antonio was in front of the goal mouth. He just tips his head onto it, into the net. It's 1-1. Going into half-time, we have something. In the second half, it was total dominance. You could tell by the amount of times that we were lurking around the opposition box. constantly getting it in, constantly making space in the box to have chances, one of which fell to Thomas Souček from very close range with quite a wide berth, and he hit it against the crossbar. How the hell did he do that from that close? I will never know. He needed to keep the shot down. Maybe he rushed into it. But the build-up play was really good. I was really liking the fact that we had the pressure, momentum was West Ham from inside the box. A chance came where Antonio hit the post from like a very casual shot, if I could call it that. But I think he might have done it because he was confused himself, because he was expecting a handball to be given. It came off the defender's hand. It may be one of those things where it touches thigh to hand, hand to thigh. I don't know. It went to VAR and the penalty was awarded. Lucas Paqueta stepped up and he scored it. And for the first time, we've seen him dance at the London Stadium to celebrate. Aguirre joined in as well. Barely any time to celebrate that when West Ham got another goal. Ball's dispossessed. Paqueta helps it with that, to dispossession. Rice runs. Keeps charging at the goal with a lot of energy. He's got Antonio with, and I'm thinking he probably should pass here, but he takes the shot himself, runs about 60% of the field, and slots it into the net. Excellent solo effort. We'll stick another 20 million on the price tag, shall we? Because of that. It's like the Sun goal versus Burnley in 2019. He ran and scored it solo. Then afterwards, Mikel Antonio, stuff of dreams from him. He has enough space in the box again and fires it into the net. Easily done. He never wanted to pass it, he got his second goal. Space to shoot, did it, like I say. Paqueta made a mark with his movement and 2 very good assists, in theory. Substitutions came just to give the players a run in. Downs, Ings and Kura came on for Rice, Antonio and Zuma. Bowen put the ball in the net, but it was ruled out. He's another player who had a really good game. He created a lot of chances, desperately wanted to score, and it was just a little bit of a pity that he didn't. Fornals and Cornet came on late for Bowen and Benrahma. Well, let's just have a quick conversation about Cornet. He's got the pace, but he doesn't have the finishing. So maybe is this the reason why Moyes doesn't play him enough? I don't know. Paqueta and Rice were great, but so was Souček. And that's given us a dilemma going into the Bournemouth game, because do we drop Souček and put Paqueta next to Rice? Or do we keep Souček and then put Paqueta as the 10? I don't know. That's something we've got to work out. Antonio looked like his lockdown self again. He looked like 2020 himself, where he went on a scoring mission and kept West Ham up in the league. If he can do that in the league, we're cooking. We're great. Up next, we've got Alkmaar, and I believe the first leg's at the London Stadium next month. So we've got to really do the business in the first leg. But let's just enjoy beating Gent and getting through into a semi-final, because we went above and beyond to win that. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to sub for more content, everybody. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all very soon.